So I'm turning 40 this year, and for the past few weeks, I've been trying to get my shit together before I turn 40 and sharing about it, but I've been doing the whole thing wrong. I am basically making to-do lists, trying to accomplish those tasks each week, and most of the time repeating the pattern of feeling bad about myself because I couldn't accomplish most of it. Yo, that's not how you get your shit together, that's how you get shit done. Big difference. I mean, yeah, you gotta get shit done in order to get your shit together, but what is it that you are trying to get together in the first place? What's the big picture? What am I trying to accomplish beyond these tasks? Before I go any farther, I think I need to introduce myself briefly because it's gonna be important for the overall context of this series. Yes, I said series. Hi, I'm Isa. I am late diagnosed ADHD. I have chronic illnesses that make my life somewhat difficult on a daily basis. I'm in a state of autistic burnout, perimenopause. I'm currently off my ADHD meds, and I'm having a lot of trouble placing myself professionally speaking and just functioning in the world because of all the things that I just said. Chronic expressions comes from a chronic need I've always had of expressing myself in order to process any types of information either that I am receiving or that's just running inside my head. And did I say I'm turning 40 this year? Besides all that, I'm very privileged in a way because I have food on my plate, I have housing, I just moved into a beautiful house. This is my dream studio. And I've been living in a constant tug of war between overwhelmed, like feeling constantly overwhelmed, and also being grateful because the age, the mortgage, the medical bills, the debt, I feel like my stakes are pretty high. I feel a weight on my shoulders. So what is the shit I'm trying to get together then? This past week was the third on this challenge, and I did a lot actually, though most of the things I did wasn't on my list. But the thing that I think was the most important accomplish was this big realization that I had. I am stuck in the past, like trapped and trapping all the versions of me that came before this one. Longing, feeling sorry for myself, and stuck on the I used to. I wrote down all the I used to's that came to mind on my journal. After a while, the question became, am I trying to go back in time? Anyway, it got very trippy, but the bottom line, at least as of now, is this. Can I rescue parts of who I used to be that are, one, worth of rescuing, and two, realistic for the disabled body and mind that I have so I can move forward? I think in order to get my shit together before I turn 40, and this was week 4, this is week 5, so I got, 31 more to go. I think for this week, my task should be dig in and try to answer the rescuing question. The idea to make this video this way kind of came from that already, because I used to have a YouTube channel a decade ago, and I would make the videos just like I'm doing this one. So that's a little part of me that I'm like already rescuing. Anyway, before I go, I want to share something that popped up on my Pinterest out of nowhere because I don't really look for this kind of stuff, but I thought it was interesting and it could be useful. It's called the Wheel of Change. So it's just this circle divided in 4 parts where you write down, I guess, things that you want to create, eliminate, preserve, and accept. And I found it interesting because I think I'm having a hard time accepting my new normal, which is not even that new, it's just that it changes constantly. But I'm having a hard time accepting it. I'm stuck in a cycle of grief. As I said, I'm stuck in the past. So I'm interested in doing that circle as an exercise this week. Oh, and one more thing. I do want to keep things simple because I need to remember this is not a sprint, it's a marathon. But in order to get my shit together and clear my mind so I can make or even like think about these changes, actually. Think about the changes. I need to have my regulation tight. If that's not happening, the castle will collapse, and the castle is me. So for me, self-regulation includes things like movement. So dancing and, walking around is very important. Things that get me in a flow state. So like art. I think that creative expression can be a ritual of self-care and self-regulation. I am flirting with the idea of becoming a full-time artist, so I don't like to consider necessarily my self-care ritual when I'm making art that's like more for work. But it still helps. I do like to separate them. It has like less pressure when you're doing it just for the sake of doing it. So I fell off the track of like doing just, scribbles and stuff like on a journal that I have, like an art journal that I have just to do things for fun in there. And I would like to go back to that because it's very helpful. And my goal is to try to do that at least like 3 times this week. I will report back on that, and I'll report back on the other things that we discussed. So let's make this a weekly date. Sundays, 4 p.m. Eastern time. I drop something like this here. YouTube or Substack, I don't know where you're seeing this, to tell you how things are going, but also what's yet to come. If you found this interesting or relatable in any way, please share and or leave a comment. Again, I'm Isa, chronically expressing myself and trying to get my shit together before I turn 40. I hope to catch you next week. Okay, bye.